So we are still kind of getting everything put back together after our addition of the shower in this house, but I thought it would be a really good time to kind of show everyone what the seed starting looks like for our hopefully huge garden this summer. First off, we chose to have all of our seeds in the kitchen side of our house instead of up in our water loft, just because it's kept a little bit cooler and they're not going to dry out quite as fast. If we kept these seeds up in the water loft, it would be a really great space. It would be out of the way, out of Rowan's way specifically, but they're going to dry out really fast, and I'd have to be climbing up there multiple times a day to make sure that they're staying watered well enough, and that's just not something that I know for a fact I'm not going to be good at it. So we decided to keep them in the kitchen and just have a little bit of a border to do our best to keep them safe. So on this side, this has been growing the longest, all the way down to what we've most recently planted. So it is time to start bringing the fan over and get some wind blowing on these. I have not done that much. I've done it a little bit, but typically when they are really small, like these peppers are, I don't want to, just because the top of the soil is going to dry out a lot faster, and that's just something that we're going to struggle with in this space. So I try to wait a little bit longer. These onions I'm actually going to probably transition so that they go outside soon during the day, because you can see I'm kind of out of space and I need to start some more seeds today. These onions have been doing really well. This first section were all of my yellow onions, and then the second one were the white and the leeks. The white and the leeks definitely did a lot better. These ones did not have quite as well of a germination rate popping up, but that's fine. We want to use everything that we have. I will say these artichokes back here definitely need to get potted up into something different. They're getting quite large for this tiny tray. And then I'm pretty sure right now we have both our hot peppers and our sweet peppers are all up. There's still just a couple little stragglers kind of popping through, but for the most part, all of our peppers are up. They're still little, but they're about to start getting their true leaves. And then on this back side, we have a few flowers too, which I think looks so fun. We did some lupin. I think those are really fun leaves. Now, this last full tray back here, it is something that I started right before the shower project. And then I put the lid on, I put it off in the corner, and I didn't look at it until the shower project was complete. So I did not notice that the seeds actually came up and they got very, very leggy. I'm contemplating if I just want to start more seeds of all of it all over again, or if I kind of just want to wait and just see how they do. But they're looking a little funny right now. So this is all of our cauliflower, broccoli, kale, chard, kohlrabi, stuff like that. So they are very funny looking. They're very, very, very tall for little teeny tiny leaves. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Some of them have come up a little bit later, so they're kind of saved from how leggy they are, but as you can see, this kohlrabi came up right away. All of it did. So they're all not doing too hot. For the most part, they should do what this one's doing, kind of fall over and then start growing again, but just not sure what I want to do for these yet. And then lastly, we just have some herbs. So these are all doing pretty good. They're just starting to show. This is also the last thing that I started to plant. I'd have to say that all in all, this year is looking way more promising than last year was. Last year, I couldn't even really keep one sad little tray of plants alive. So I'm super excited for what this year is going to look like. But like I said before, we do need to start some more seeds today, and today is going to be the tomatoes. So we very quickly decided that tomatoes is something that I think we're going to have to kind of go hard on every single year. Just grow as many as we can, try to get as many as possible, because tomato products really is something that we eat the most of. So we've got a lot of tomato varieties. There are 21 different types of tomatoes that I have here. Some of them are kind of just for fun, like this little spoon tomato, and some of them are actually like a paste and what we want specifically for production. So we're going to have a pretty good variety here. Like I said before, we are going to have a spreadsheet going. We're going to keep track of how many we're planting, how quickly they come up, how quickly they mature and actually start to produce fruits. We're going to keep track of if they're producing those fruits all at once, more like a determinate tomato, or if they're going to kind of produce them slowly throughout the whole year, like an indeterminate type. So it should be a really fun experiment. Hopefully we can keep up on it. Keeping up with spreadsheets isn't necessarily our strong suit, but I think it's going to be very helpful in the future to be able to look back at that and see which ones we kind of want to narrow down with these. So here's a look at all the different tomato varieties we have. Cody and I aren't the biggest tomato eaters. We typically don't want to eat them just on their own, fresh, straight from the garden. That's not really what we like, but we do like to have a lot of tomato products. So honestly, for us, it is going to be more of the ones that I think are really pretty. Like, I'm super excited to try those ones and all the different colors that we can get. But for the most part, we really want to look for production based. So we are going to be aiming probably more towards the Romas or the Amish pastes. I will say we have collected a lot of different types of smaller, more cherry tomatoes or grape-sized tomatoes. So we have a lot of those smaller type tomatoes simply because it is kind of harder to get the large tomatoes to grow and actually fully ripen up here because of the short season. So I'm hoping that by putting in a lot of cherry tomatoes, we can get a lot of tomatoes that way. Maybe they won't be the best for sauces. They won't have quite as much meat to water ratio as we would prefer. But I think it will help us out a lot just by the amount that we should be able to get from those ones. I'm also thinking that I want to do some just plain diced tomatoes, and I'm kind of leaning towards just trying to use only the cherry tomatoes for that and just kind of seeing how it works. Otherwise, this is just a small little update. We are definitely not going to slow down on starting seeds. I have plans still to start seeds every single week all the way up and even through our last frost date. I'm really hoping that this is going to be a great garden year.